When we look at life's origin and how evolution took place in the earlies, one thing we know is that we estimate the Earth to be about 4.6 billion years old. We have found rock fossils about 3 billion years old. And so we estimate somewhere around that time we find first types of prokaryote cells, and then it took another 1.5 billion years again before we actually saw eukaryote cells. However, the atmosphere, according to ice cores from Antarctica, as well as rock specimen, as well as different types of techniques, does indicate the presence of water as well as volcanic eruptions, different types of gases in the atmosphere. Not the 21% um, oxygen that we find in the atmosphere now. It actually had very little oxygen. And so when we look at organic compounds such as amino acids, these, of course, are the building blocks of proteins, fatty acids, which make up fats, nucleotides, which make up, these are the building blocks of nucleic acids, DNA and RNA, and then simple sugars, which eventually are the building blocks for carbohydrates. Once you have these organic compounds which make up all of life, we find that there is a possibility for life to eventually exist. Now, reactions, it is said that the atmosphere back then, a lot of lightning in the atmosphere. Of course, when we examine deep sea hydrothermal vents, we see similar environments which we can use to estimate what took place. So, for example, the deep hydrothermal vents, which are cracks in the Earth's crust deep in the ocean, where you have an outpouring of minerals, you do find life there. You find archean prokaryotes, and then you find a little hotspot of tube worms, ghost crabs, ghost shrimps, things like that. But what we do know is that cyanobacteria, which these have been here for a long time, eventually, when you found eukaryotic cells with chloroplasts, then you had an atmosphere enriched with oxygen. And so it is said that mitochondria and chloroplasts are descendants of prokaryote cells, but somehow formed an endosymbiotic relationship with cells. And that's why they have their own genetic material, just as nucleus.